Our first Alumni Titan Award tonight goes to Mike McCool. Congratulations, Mike. Mike has generously given his time and talent and treasure in ways that had tremendous strategic impact on IMSA. He's already made 2 major financial contributions to IMSA in 2003 and 2007. In the first case, he designated half of his gift to support programs and services for IMSA students and half of his support to IMSA's programs for Illinois teachers and students. And he demonstrated his commitment to our dual mission as an academy, both to serve the kids that are at IMSA and everyone else in the state of Illinois. Mike has designated his second major gift to help start an endowment, the Marshall Innovation Fund, demonstrating his commitment to IMSA's long-term future and leadership. In addition to his financial support, he has been a significant thinking partner for IMSA leaders, contributing ideas and questions that inform the design of IMSA Talent, Total Applied Learning and Entrepreneurs. You'll hear a lot of acronyms tonight. I asked somebody to make a list of acronyms for the board members so we'd know what you were talking about. And also the UIUC, University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, IMSA winning formula partnership, as well as the development of our alumni engagement strategy. He's also influenced the thinking and decision-making of the strategic planning team. And Mike, I'm sure that you had the same experience we all did. It's not a fist fight, but it's close. Strategic planning at IMSA is very, very unique because everybody wants to express their opinion, and in that planning session, they get the opportunity to do it. He's also been involved in the action planning team for Strategy 6, that is to diversify our funding so we can do bigger and better things. Most recently, Mike accepted Governor Quinn's invitation to the State Address in January 2010. He was a representative of Illinois and IMSA and Urbana-Champaign, representing the Internet pioneers / entrepreneurs. He's a graduate of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. He served on the team there that created Mosaic, the Internet browser used to start Netscape, and then worked as a software engineer at Netscape. He's currently a user interface and graphics programmer at Echelon Technology, which develops high-end military flight simulator graphics for search and rescue and transport helicopters, primarily for the Marines, Navy, and the Coast Guard. And Mike shared a lot of stories about helicopters at the table, which he's going to experience, he says, by going up in one himself. Please, all of you, welcome Mike McCool.
I have this on my iPod.
Of course.
So I'd like to thank the Academy. I just wanted to say that. But I'd like to thank the Academy for this prestigious award recognizing how great I am at telling everyone how great you are. That didn't sound right either. Seriously, I'd like to thank IMSA, since without it none of this would have been possible, and I wouldn't be who I am today. I want to thank all the teachers and faculty at IMSA for their hard work and dedication, making a better, balanced, and well-educated, gifted student. I'd like to thank the state of Illinois for all their support for IMSA, and more specifically my parents for allowing me to jump on the great opportunity IMSA provided, even if it meant that I was away from home for so long. I'd like to thank my wife, Andrea, for letting me be who I am. And I'd like to specifically thank Kathy Veal, Stephanie Pace Marshall, and Max McGee for reaching out to me and helping me to help IMSA. That was a really big deal for me. I wrote this late at night, so I wrote in, I'd like to thank my pillow for being there when I want to go to sleep. And also, as shout outs to people who asked for it, I'd like to thank Greg Kaiser and Jenny Deller. Jenny Deller's working on a movie called Future Weather, so look it up at futureweathermovie.com. So I got a lot of weird looks when I went back for the State of the State address and for this trip when people heard it was from my old high school, because people today just seem to think of high school as, well, high school. You know, cliques, never being into the crowd, easy relationships that may or may not pan out. People seem to do most of their thinking, learning of the formation of their personality in college, but IMSA showed me that college was actually too late. IMSA certainly had its share of high school moments, but it was so much more than that to me. Only a few times since then have I been surrounded by so many smart people all focused on the same task, and whenever I have, great things have happened. Great things happened at IMSA, and it was all a reinforcement of the habits and lifestyle of curiosity and exploration that's remained with me to this day. Education at IMSA was not about what you need to learn, but rather how you learn it. It was more about the why of learning rather than the memorization and the test scores. It was about problem solving and the joy of discovery. We took part in a great experiment at IMSA to see if there was a bolder, more organic way to learn than was mostly self-directed. And self-directed learning is, I think, the single key thing that IMSA should continue to strive for, instilling in students not just the material itself, but why the material is interesting and how to follow up with their own independent studies. When I'm looking to hire people, it's one of the first things I look for is self-direction. I'd rather have a resourceful, self-guided employee than someone who needs a lot of hand-holding. And someone who can get along well in a team, a skill I learned picked up being stuck in nothing but cornfields for 9 months of years with a bunch of gifted social misfits. And I want someone who's thorough, someone who wants to fully understand a problem and why the solution works instead of finding a solution and stopping. I think our IMSA experiment was successful and will be successful in the future, building and encouraging young entrepreneurs to chase their dreams. Particularly, I love the idea of pairing up IMSA with the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign to encourage kids to start their startups right in college, just like we did with Netscape. For me, college was considerably less difficult than high school, and while it formalized my computer science and elective education, I was ready to work at a real job when I was completing my college courses. It's in these kids that I see IMSA's future, and a bright path with a proven track record to build successful businesses, no matter the size. Most of all, I want to reemphasize how important it was to be surrounded by gifted nerds from all walks of life at IMSA, and what an incredible and enriching experience it was that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. We had more late-night deep thought sessions than I can remember, and elaborate plans for trouble also, involving a fleet of super soaker squirt guns. I'd like to encourage more current students to stay on weekends, to build those relationships with your fellow IMSA students that only rooming with them can build. I'd also like to encourage IMSA to keep that sense of pioneering experimentation alive. The nature of research is that not all projects will pan out exactly as you expected, but don't let that discourage you from trying new things. IMSA should be a learning research lab that spreads its knowledge across the state like dandelions blown in the wind, and always maintain that sense of being on the frontier of learning. By doing that, IMSA will get its pupils ready to be on the cutting edge of whatever field they're in, and instill in them a lifetime sense of wanting to be surrounded by the best, the brightest, and the most hardworking people around. And at the end of the day, isn't that what all education is all about? Finally, I encourage all alumni to consider giving as much as you can to help keep the IMSA dream alive. You know, it wasn't actually easy for me to make the 2 donations I made to IMSA. My finance guy still gives me grief about it. But think about how much you got out of IMSA for the price of a public education. They helped you make you the awesome person you are today, and more kids from all walks of life should have the opportunity you did, especially in these trying economic times. So, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your evening.